Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe.
And I'm Rodger Berman.
And you're listening to Works for Us. We talk to people about what works in their relationships and, of course, what doesn't. Today's episode, I'm incredibly excited about. This one is all about best friends and strong female friendships that, we hope last a lifetime, right? This particular subject is really, really compelling to me because I think that female friendships can be the most extraordinary thing in the world and also the most challenging sometimes. And the reason that I'm so excited to have the guests we have on today is because they are, in my mind, the perfect, truest example of the absolute bestest friends I've ever known in my life. And I'm very fortunate because the two of them happen to be two of my closest best friends. But I have to say their relationship is one to admire.
Rachel, the suspense is killing me. Who's on our goddamn show?
I'm going to tell you right now. Okay.
They're like, it's Beyonce and Kelly Rowland.
It is.
Oh,
it
sorry
is. It's Bae.
Sorry to disappoint you.
So our guests today are two amazing women that have known each other for many, many, many years. The beautiful, gorgeous, talented, brilliant jewelry designer, Jennifer Meyer. You all know she's an incredible jewelry designer. Her list of clients, is really like a Vanity Fair party. But it's, Jennifer Aniston, Scarlett Johansson, Emma Stone, Sara Foster, Rachel's, just goes on for
let's
days.
Let's throw that in there.
Sara Foster, you are so many things. You are an entrepreneur. You are an actress. You are a mom. You are developing shows for 20th Century Fox, and you are head of creative at Bumble. Also just launched Favorite Daughter, and also launching an incredible podcast that I will certainly listen to. I also want to mention that Jen is an incredible entrepreneur and also worship her as a mother. She kind of defines an amazing mother. So,
what
about
Sarah's motherhood skills?
Sarah's, well, we'll get into that. No,
just
okay.
I was really mother.
I just wanted
Sarah
to be real.
Sarah sees her kids a couple hours a day.
Sarah's an incredible mother, but we're going to talk about all that.
She's thought so.
All right, so girls, welcome to Works for Us, everybody. We're really excited to talk to Jen and Sarah today.
Title. I love that. Works for Us.
I think the thing that we get asked the most, probably from both of you over the years, is sort of like, how on earth does this work?
Yeah. It's amazing. What do you guys, 30 years or something crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost 30 years. Get ready to party.
It's also so true of all the different dynamics, right? Husband, wife, best friend, mother, daughter. It's like what works for one person is not working for another person. And I love that you're having on people these different dynamics where you can explore what works for different couples. Jen and I are a couple.
Absolutely.
Also.
No, but
truly,
it's true.
So
Sarah's 100% my wife.
Yep.
By the way, there have been moments where I've been with you guys and been like, it would actually be way easier if they were married.
If we were attracted to each other.
1,000%. If we were attracted to each other, it would be a done deal.
It would be perfect.
But it's more fun this
done
way,
deal.
I feel like. I feel like it's less dramatic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, I know you guys go back a really, really long time, but I do want to know kind of how old you were when you met, and do you guys remember when you met and how you met? And was it like love at first sight?
I have to be honest. I don't know what you're going to say. I don't remember the first time I met you, but I knew of you. Jen was very famous.
Obviously.
She was Sara Meyer's older sister. I went to high school with Sara Meyer,
My younger sister.
Jen's younger sister, and
who I worship.
Jen was sort of like a legend. You just always heard about Jen Meyer. Jen Meyer, she had these huge boobs, this perfect body, like so hot. All the guys loved her. And I was like, oh, really?
Don't stop.
Like,
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
She's
But
like
she was
the cool
she was
girl,
in college.
right? She's like cool hot girl.
She's cool hot girl, but she was in college when I met her sister. So she was off at Syracuse majoring in psychology. Jen.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Sarah's my PR consultant.
I tell everybody Jen she's a therapist. But she actually
Wait,
doesn't.
were
She
you
didn't even
Jen a
graduate
major in
college.
psychology? Yes.
It wasn't called
Yes, it does.
psychology. It was called child and family psychology. It was very specific.
But doesn't that make perfect sense? Who gives better advice than Jen? It's no
one.
Thank you.
No one.
I was having a dinner and I remember my sister was like, "Oh, can I invite Sara Foster?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And for whatever reason, I looked out the window and I saw this
Legs.
girl getting out of a black truck. She had like a really cool Denali.
It was
And-
Chevy Tahoe,
and whatever.
and it was navy blue.
And she was wearing really low-waisted leather pants with leather, not jeans.
Chrome Hearts.
No, but
Probably
Frankie
Chrome
Louise.
Hearts.
It's probably
And
like
a really short, like wife beater tank top and her like blonde hair.
What a
and
hoe.
I remember she was getting out of this car and I said to my sister, I was like, "Is that Sara Foster?" And she's like, "Yeah, oh, perfect." And I was like, "Oh, I hate her." I was like, "I will never like this girl. This girl is not for me." She was like gorgeous, model, perfect. I was like, "Nope, no, that's good." I was like, "She could come to dinner. I'm not going to talk to her. That's fine."
so funny.
And I remember that was sort of the first time I had really laid eyes on her.
That's so funny because you're so not like that.
By
that's
the way,
just not
Sarah,
who
I
you
was
are.
just going to say that. I think one of the absolute, and I swear I'm not saying this, Jen, one of your greatest qualities is that you are so not that person.
No, I'm that person. I'm a hater. Jen's not a
Totally.
hater.
Jen is like your friends are all beautiful. You're beautiful. Your friends are beautiful. You're not someone who's like, I can't talk to her. She's too pretty. Like you're
It's
not that girl.
honestly, you can thank Sara Foster for that because if I really decided if I was going to be best friends with her, then I had to
You had to
love
just get
beautiful
through it.
people. And so that's that. I had no choice. I had to love them, not hate them.
You're so stupid. I
Thank
can't.
you
I
so
can't.
much.
But you know what I want to just say quickly, like while we were talking about, like, oh wait, ninth grade, college. When you're young, like that 4-year age difference feels like everything.
Yes.
And now it's like we're the same age. Like
It's
you know
true.
what I mean? It's
Yes,
such
of
a
course.
massive difference when you're young, and now we're the same age.
I'm pretty sure though, Jen and I think the rest of us are pretty aware that you're significantly younger than us, Sarah.
I just want to be clear, Sarah and I are a little shy of 4 years apart, if we're going to be exact, but who's counting?
I thought we were No, but I was always like the youngest of the group, and now
You still
I'm
are.
like,
Still, and she still
You
is.
still are.
okay, great.
You still are. All right. So seriously though, was there something that happened that like made you guys fall in love? That you were like, this is it, or was that like more recent? You know what I mean?
No,
like
we've been-
because I met
no. Sarah
Sarah
and
when
I-
she was 19.
Sarah and I
mean-
have been best of friends for
I mean, don't say the number.
over 20 years.
Okay, you said it.
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truly best
yeah.
friends.
You know why,
And-
Rachel? It's different because Jen always had like her separate lives, right? So like you might
Right.
not have met her in the beginning because she was like had very serious relationships. We clubbed sometimes separately, but like we were
Yeah.
already really close.
But I was with Jen in New York, and then
Yeah,
I
you met
you.
Jen separate. I
Correct.
met you through Sam Fitz
and Kate
and Kate
in
and
those
yes.
cut off denim shorts, Uggs, and a white tank.
That's right.
and that
You
hair.
covered
I
it.
definitely met you dancing on a table at Moomba, for sure.
For sure. We were talking about that the other day.
Sarah and I lived in the same apartment building. And
When I was 18.
she
Was
was
it the
18.
Granville?
Yeah.
Was it the Granville? I
Wow,
lived there.
we lived in
Yes.
the Granville.
I remember, and I was 21.
When we first moved to LA, that was our
Yes.
first
Oh,
apartment.
see, I didn't know you when you lived there. Did I?
Rachel lived there by herself.
I did.
Originally.
Before
Yep.
we
Before
officially,
we officially moved here.
Yep.
She got it for like 6 months.
Yep.
In the Granville.
But you
That
went
was a
from New
great
York
apartment.
to Burton Way, right? Wasn't Burton
Yeah,
Way
Yeah,
your
that was
exactly.
our first apartment from
Right.
New York. It was Burton Way.
And Sarah lived on the 3rd floor, and I lived on the 5th floor. And
A lot
wa-
of people lived in that building.
Yeah, a lot of
Tracy
people. Yeah, the Granville
Ellis,
is great.
Ross. Who are the other
That was
celebs
good.
in there? Portia de
Portia,
Rossi.
Rashida. We had a long list.
A lot of celebs.
Very famous people.
Yeah.
Anyway, we lived together in that building, and that was that. It was like that was the beginning of.
And from the very beginning, it's so interesting. Whatever Ellen and Ron Meyer did, they did something so amazing for their girls because
I know. I agree.
Out of when I came to Crossroads in high school, all the girls were unkind. They were like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who's this new girl in 9th grade? we're not going to be friends with her.
Also,
We're not-
Sarah, they're going to hate you immediately anyway. I mean, unless you wear a bag over your body.
But I went to school in overall. It doesn't matter. Just nobody really welcomed me. I didn't become friends with Kate till more like the 10th grade. Sara Meyer was the first person who was like, you can sit with us. And
She's an angel.
Jen rolled, and also like a certain crowd that was not the most welcoming. But Jen was like,
Fair enough.
she can sit with us.
Sure.
In a totally different friend group, like Granville days. You know, you always made me feel welcome. Jen was friends with so many cool people. I wasn't. And
That's not true.
no, but like you were very cool. I mean,
Okay,
I was
fine.
cool too in my own way. I was like dating like a rocker, a wannabe rock. Yeah,
yes.
no, I shouldn't. Say
But Jen never tried to be cool. Jen just is
No,
Jen. I think that's the
effortless.
thing. She has like a gift.
Effortless.
People just don't want to
Effortless.
hang out with her. You know?
Effortless.
That's like Sarah, though.
But girls are bitches when they're young, man.
Girls are
and you
bitches.
were never.
Well,
Okay, so
neither
you
were
guys, that's actually why I wanted to have you on. And that is why Rodger and I were like, we talked about how important different kinds of relationships are. And we didn't want to do a podcast that was just about married couples. That's so boring. And the reality of it is everyone is in a relationship, right? And both of you are in all kinds of relationships. But to me, what really stands out, no offense to your other partners and siblings and things like that. But to me, what has always stood out about you guys is that you are the truest form of best friends. And to me, I think something that has always stood out, because I always sort of I've always had my sister, right? But and I've been with Rodger for almost 30 years. So I don't think I ever lean on a best friend in the same way that some people actually do. Like I do have my closest friends that I've called you both at ungodly hours crying about God knows what. And I know that you'd be there 24/7. But I think with you guys, you have this no filter, no boundaries, no, if you're in a mood, you could just be like, I don't want to talk right now. You have no guard up. And I think that's a very rare and unique thing between women. And so, it's a couple things. I think you guys have both grown up with parents that are in the entertainment industry. I mean, do you think that had any effect on bringing you guys closer? Like, did you relate to each other on some level in like kind of having families that were in this, Hollywood?
Look, to be honest, let's be real here. Like everyone around us parents were doing something. We grew up in LA. We went to a private LA school.
Yep.
I mean, my dad, who has like 100 Grammys, was like probably the least known out of like, you have to remember like Kate's around. Her parents are Kurt and Goldie Hawn. Like, so I don't actually, I mean, if anything, I guess both of our parents, it is funny that your dad was sort of like the biggest agent, right?
Yep.
My dad was like the big, but I guess they sort of instilled, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Their dads. No. They didn't, you didn't suffer from it.
No. And I will say this, like two things about that. Our fathers and our family, there was never a question about having to work and support yourselves. And, like there was no, there wasn't like our parents, Sarah and I never really connected on that at any moment. Like the truth is like the truest form of friendship and like connecting is it's so raw and pure and two souls that kind of find each other in this world of like you're either friends or you're not friends. And like Sarah and I say all the time, like, whoa, how did we get so lucky?
Yeah.
Because Sarah really is, she's sitting here complimenting me and being so sweet and hilarious. But the truth is like there really isn't a friend like Sarah. I mean, she's the most consistent, loving, open, honest, and like non-judgmental. I can't say non-judgmental enough. She's like, what do you need? I got your back.
Yeah.
And is never there to make you feel shitty. She's like, and it's very rare, like when you have someone that you don't need to fill them in on anything. When you're like, oh my God, my daughter or my dad just called me, or can you believe my mom said, and they know the entire history. Mm-hmm. You don't need to say to them.
There's no catch up.
And we both are so close with our sisters. You know what I mean? You bring
That's my point. Yep.
We're so close with our sisters. And by the way, Erin's one of my best friends and Sarah's one of Sarah's best friends. Like but there's a difference in having that outside person to count on that just I've never known anything like it, and it's amazing.
Listen,
you know?
Aaron and I have like you and Sarah have the most like the purest relationship of all time. But Aaron and I, you know, we have deep wounds from our childhood. Shit that you know, Jen came into my life later, and as a non-sibling, it's just a completely different dynamic. Aaron and I will get into a fight about something, and it's really about that time in like 5th grade when I excluded her from my fucking slumber party. It's like, so we're dealing with like old trauma with siblings, and Aaron is like the closest person to me for sure. But there's something like that element is removed when it's with a best friend who you met a little bit later in life and you didn't share a childhood with, right?
Totally.
But I love that you say I'm not judgmental, because sometimes I don't want to say I'm a judgmental person, but I do come from a world where I am really hard on the people I love. Like I'm hard on Aaron. I'm hard on Jordan. I'm less hard on Jordan because she's more sensitive, but like I am hard on people. So sometimes I'll get off the phone with Jen. I'll be like, oh God, was I just a little rough? Like, why did I drive that home? Like, I love Jen so much, and I want to be that person that calls her on her shit, because who else is going to, and vice versa for me. But sometimes I do feel like I'm a little hard on you.
No.
Really?
No,
In the
but
best
Sarah,
of ways.
I actually find, to your point, it is funny because the thing that makes you not judgmental is that you know when you're being judgmental. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when you say something, you go, oh my God, is that okay that I just said it? Okay. I find you, and Rodger and I always talk about this. One of, I think, the greatest things about you, Sarah, is that you are so honest. You are so honest. And I think in a way that, to me, never comes off as wrong. It comes off as you being you. And I find that you're self-deprecating. And I find that if you're insulting something someone does, you typically go, I do that. Or like, I understand that because I do that. Like, I don't find you judgy in any way. I would say, I find you honest. I think there's a difference, honestly.
Yeah, we're both honest. And Jen's my bar. You know, it's like
Jen is crazy honest.
When I'll literally call her and be like, I need you to be so real with me right now. Like truly, this is the fight. This is what happened. I'm actually begging for you to tell me I was in the wrong. Like, tell me I was in the wrong, because if you say I was in the wrong, then I'm going to go and apologize to that person. And if you tell me that I'm not the wrong, then I am not fucking apologizing. Like Jen is my person, because she'll say to me.
But it's true. Because Jen has a moral code.
Yeah,
I don't have anyone like that, and she's got no skin in the game. You know, I might call another girlfriend, and that other girlfriend might be like triggered in some way. Jen never gets triggered. I get triggered. Someone could call me about like, oh, should I blah, 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 and it triggers me somehow, and maybe I don't give the right advice. Jen doesn't get triggered. She she removes herself out of all of the equations, which is, by the way, hard to do. I struggle with that. So,
I agree.
Aw.
I agree. I agree about Jen. I call Jen when I need a very honest, real sounding board.
100%.
Tell me, Jen, am I crazy? Am I insane for thinking this? She's like, no. And then she'll go, but listen, like
devil's advocate here. And her devil's advocate, that's the real. She's like, but listen. And then she'll say to you, Rachel, you probably shouldn't have said that. You know, I don't know.
Right. And I think that that's good. I think, okay.
Of course it's good.
Honey, am I going to keep going, or do you want to add something to this?
Well, I just wanted
feel
to ask, it sounds to me like your father's provided like a strong work ethic, and basically you guys are both entrepreneurs and work your asses off. And I think the big misconception, I think, from a lot of people about, Hollywood kids grown up, blah, 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 blah. But you always used to tell me that your dad told you, he's like, listen, Sarah, I'm rich. You're not rich. Go sit in the back of the plane. I earned this money, you didn't. And
look, there's no denying, guys. There's no denying that we grew up privileged. We grew up
of
privileged.
Of course.
I hate people that are like, what? I've done it all. Like, okay, fine. My dad never, made phone calls for me to get auditions.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, because of my life. I didn't have to go wait tables 8 hours a day, which then would make me tired for that audition or whatever it was. But let me be very clear. I think for both of us, we know that we will not be homeless. I mean, sometimes I question if I will be homeless. But, our dads were like, figure it out, man. Figure it out.
100%.
There's no world where you're going to be 18 and like not doing anything with your life and me paying your rent. Like that's just not an option. It's just not an option. And I think we knew that at 14, 15, not that she knew she wanted to be a jewelry designer. I knew I wanted to be doing this. We've evolved, but we just sort of know like, shit, that time's coming. Like we got to fucking have a plan. You got to have a plan.
As you might have guessed, I love to shop. It's a fun, creative process for me, a passion, if you will. Rodger, on the other hand, not a huge fan of shopping. I try to guide him in the right direction with his wardrobe choices, but somehow I always end up being very surprised by what he's chosen to wear. Actually, shocked. Luckily, Stitch Fix has stepped in to do all the hard work of finding Rodger clothes that will fit him really well and still look great. Stitch Fix offers clothing hand-selected by expert stylists for your unique size, style, and of course, budget. It's a completely different and fun way to find clothes that you will love to wear. Every piece is chosen for your fit and your lifestyle, and it's an easy solution to find exactly what makes you look and feel your best every day. So here's how it works. You try on pieces at home before you buy, keep only what you love, and return what you don't. Stitch Fix has free shipping, easy returns and exchanges, and a prepaid return envelope is included, which for me is so important. So if you don't like what you get, it's absolutely no big deal to send it back. Super simple. Stitch Fix has styles and clothing to fit any occasion for women, men, and kids, so you can make sure everyone in your home is very well styled. They ship all over the US and are available in the UK as well. There's no subscription required, so you can use Stitch Fix once or set up automatic deliveries to make sure your closet's always current. You'll pay just a $20 styling fee for each box, which gets credited towards pieces you keep. And there are no hidden fees ever. So get started today at stitchfix.com/Zoe, and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's stitchfix.com/Zoe for 25% off. Again, stitchfix.com/Zoe, ZOE. As a busy working mom, like so many others, my biggest form of self-care is getting enough sleep. And now that we have our cutest little puppy, Goldie, sleep has become even more of a precious commodity around here. That's why Helix Sleep is so amazing. They understand that mattresses are not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, and they have mattresses available for every kind of sleeper so that you can always get the quality of rest you need. In addition to soft, medium, and firm mattresses, they can also provide mattresses that are great for cooling you down if you tend to sleep hot. Rodger is an actual furnace when he sleeps, so this is actually a must-have for us. I, of course, am always cold. Anyway, Helix has a short and easy quiz that takes just 2 minutes and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. I took the quiz with Rodger, and we were matched to the Midnight Lux, which is not too firm and not too soft. It's a great choice for side sleepers, and it also happens to be Helix's most awarded mattress. So, if you're looking for the perfect mattress, all you have to do is take the quiz, order your mattress, and it will get shipped right to your door for free. That means you don't ever need to go to a mattress store again. Just go to helixsleep.com/Zoe, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and get matched to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights, totally risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't like it. I think that's kind of awesome. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Zoe. That's helixsleep.com/Zoe for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Get the rest you deserve with Helix.
And how did your moms influence you? They're both, obviously, we know them both well, and they're very, very strong.
You guys have warrior
were they
mothers.
Are your moms friends, or how does that all work?
Yeah, they are friends,
or...
and they love each other, and they have a lot of similarities. And, you know, my mom always worked. There was, you know, never a day that my mom didn't work. And Sarah's mom, like, you know, was beyond a full-time mother and did all of her stuff too. And
now a full-time grandmother.
Oh my gosh.
She's literally
the
in the
best.
kitchen right now.
Of course she is.
Preparing dinner for me.
I bow to her.
Working was it wasn't a choice. I'll never forget the conversation that my dad had with me because I was just finished college. I lied and said I had graduated when I didn't. And
Love you so much.
but I had my entire family come to Syracuse to watch me walk. So I felt like if they had watched me walk, that they would think I had graduated. I would have been in the clear. And then
How do I not know this? But
This is an amazing
because
story.
I've actually never told this story.
Oh my
It's
God.
horrible. And
here on Works for Us, the Jen Meyer exclusive.
Yeah.
And someone from the college had asked my dad to come speak at the college. And they said, if Jennifer, wants to continue to speak to a guidance counselor or somebody about finishing her credits, we're more than happy to help her with understanding what she needs to finish. And he said, finish what? That went to her graduation. She graduated. And they're like, oh, no, she doesn't. There was no diploma in that thing we handed her.
That's amazing. That's a great story.
And I remember my dad calling me saying, did you not graduate? I was like, what are you talking about? You saw me graduate. Of course I graduated. And that was a bad day is all I could say. And then he said, what's your plan? And it was 2 weeks after school. And I said, oh, I'm just going to take some time off and figure it out. And he said, you're going to take time off from what? And I was like, I don't know. I just did, 4 years of college. And he said, I'm going to be very clear. You've just had a 2-week vacation. You have 2 weeks to find a job. 2 weeks, he said.
Amazing.
And I won't give you 1 cent. He said, you can live with me for as long as you want. You can eat my food. You can watch my TV. I will not charge you rent. He said, I won't give you a dime for insurance. I won't give you a dime for a car. I won't give you a dime for gas. I won't give you a dime to go to dinner with your friends or to go to a movie with your friends. He's like, and at some point they'll pay for you to go to a movie or dinner, and then they'll get very sick of paying for you.
I'm sick of paying for you.
Shut up. You're never gonna stop.
By the way, I've never paid for her once. Jen's the person.
By the
you'll
way,
go to
Sarah,
dinner.
don't think I was going to correct that,
Yeah,
but
I was
thought
like,
I'd leave it there.
Sarah Foster. That does not
We
sound like
floated
you.
foster girls for a few years. No,
Wait, are you? What are you saying? I'm cheap. Felt like
No.
that's what you were saying.
Sarah, you're so rich now.
No,
But that
Sarah
was that.
Foster.
My dad said, like, hey, you know what? I'll help you. If you have a job, I'll help you.
Yeah.
If you don't have a job, you get nothing.
But guys, here's the misconception, and you're going to see this.
I think that's
as
genius.
as your boys get older. I used to get super defensive when people would be like, "Oh, well, your dad," and it's like, let's just be like, yes, a parent can help to a certain extent, but guess what? Jen's
They can't
dad,
keep you there.
Jen's dad is not. No one gives a fuck when they're buying a Jen Meyer necklace that her dad is an agent.
It's true.
No one cares. No
It's
one
true.
cares.
He's no longer an agent. But
Okay,
yes.
but I'm just
Right.
saying he's like the biggest agent of all time. I'm just saying no one
legend.
gives a shit. No one is watching, Barely Famous because they're like, oh well, their dad is. It's like no
true.
one can make me funny. It doesn't work like that.
It's true.
100%.
I'm sick of
So
our
it's-
dads. Let's talk about our friendship.
Well, no,
For sure, but it's
It's important, and it's important, and I do think that you guys really. I think that's one of the many ways that you guys connect, and also for Rodger and I, just so you guys know, not growing up here, we always use both of you and your sisters as the best examples of kids that grew up here with everything and came out the most unspoiled, grounded,
I agree.
grateful. I mean, I, honestly, like forever, I would never in my life know or care who your parents were based on just knowing the two of you.
I just do want to say about David, though, Sarah's dad, David Foster, like
That guy,
that guy.
Slacker.
He's very handsome.
he is very handsome.
Oh my God, so handsome. I
So
was going to
handsome.
say, like, David was always, my dad's like a dad, and like we'd never go to dinner with him or meet him out. He'd
Right.
be around, and we'd, go to dinners at his house and do a lot of things like that. So Sarah's super close to my dad, and I'm super close to her dad. And he was always the guy that was like, would sit down and meet us for
Yeah.
dinner and be like,
It's
tell
fun.
me what's going on, Jen, and
Sure.
want to give good advice and really help us. And
Didn't he
like
take you for coffee when I was like 19 because he was worried about me?
100%.
When I was 19, he asked
Sarah
me
had just done, what was the video?
a music video.
Yeah.
Oh,
Backstreet Boys. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sarah was the star in the Backstreet Boys video and it was major.
I styled that video.
oh, there you go.
I
Full
was
circle.
supposed to be Alicia Silverstone. I don't know what happened.
By the way, Sarah is a brilliant actress, and it makes me crazy that she doesn't do it consistently because she's the
will.
funniest, most
She will.
amazing
It's coming.
actress.
It's coming.
In my 60s, I'll get into it.
Okay, so I have,
Please.
you guys, I have a total
Yes, go.
opposite question for you.
Yes.
What if any, because I hope that you have an answer for this, unless it's never. What's the biggest fight you've ever gotten into? If you've ever gotten in one. If you can say it, if you're comfortable saying it. And
I'll
maybe you
say
haven't.
this. We joke that
No fights.
we've never had a big fight where our friendship has been rocked.
Okay.
We've had arguments and we've had disagreements, but
But it's over in 5 minutes.
Well, let's be honest. There is one, and we won't go into names, but was one time in our lives where my, like, somebody that I was dating was very close with someone who she was with. So that gets complicated, right?
Yes.
So this is early. This is when we were in
Yes,
our early
I-
20s, you
I
know?
know this
And so
particular
that is like
situation.
the only time in our life 20 years ago where we had like where we were tested, where things were tested, but it was more of like the outside situations and less about us.
Okay.
And I would say we haven't been tested in 20 years.
yeah, I mean,
And it's never tested. That's not the right word, but you know what I
that's
mean.
fair.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
That
It's
listen,
complication.
That's fair.
matters of the heart get things complicated.
Yes.
And Sarah and I were very intertwined at a time of our life when I was, I was getting married and this person was very...
Things get complicated
Yeah.
when relationships start and end and this and that and you're connected and like, but like 20 years ago, if that was our last...
Yeah, and listen, we've had moments, but the truth is, and I joke, like, I don't have the time or the space in a day to be angry at Sarah
Sure.
because I need her too badly.
Yeah.
And I have too many questions. And like, she is my, like, I always say she's kind of my rock. Like, you have that rock where you just like touch
Yeah.
it. You're like, okay,
She's your
everything's
person.
good.
Sure.
So I need Sarah. So I like really have no space to be angry at her. I don't have a choice. Like,
And you're always ready to make up. And I like we joke. Well, we
Yeah.
have two jokes. Like we have two things that we say. And I just want to before I forget. We'll talk. We'll be the last phone call of the night at like 11 p.m. And then we'll get on the phone at like 7 a.m. and have so much to talk about. And we're like, wait, all we did was sleep. How is that?
by the way, 100% true.
My sister and I are like that. I'm like, I don't understand how we still can talk for an hour. It's the weirdest thing.
100%.
I know.
It's so freaking nuts. But like Jen and I fight different. I mean, fight is not the right word. We disagree
I know what you
differently
mean.
because Jen is like, she is organized. She's on top of it. She's got like a successful business. So she knows how to operate with people. And we will get into a disagreement and I will just go silent. I will not pick up her call. I'm like, I need some time. And she is like, oh, no, you don't. This is not how adults operate, Sarah. You pick up your phone and we're going to deal with this because I can't go through the day with us, being in a disagreement. She forces me to deal with shit and it's annoying.
Thank God, Sarah, because
That's funny.
Sarah, you have been known to vanish once in a while,
Listen,
The amount of times I've gotten a text or a call, hey, have you talked to Sarah? I'm like, no.
I can't.
I'm like,
But we
Jen,
all
the
know
answer
that-
is no. Always
But
the
we know
same.
that Jen is the exception. We know that, for anyone listening to this, there's something about Sara Foster that, Rodger and I have another friend for a long time, that you love them so deeply and truly and everything about them that when they don't return your text or call for like a week and then they do, you don't care that they didn't return it for a week because it doesn't matter, because it doesn't make them a worse person. You accept them for who they are and you love them. With Sarah, that happens to almost everybody in her life except for Jen. So I think everybody knows that and it's okay. And I kind of love that about you, Sarah.
but I will say, just in her defense, I'm not
She's
here
gotten
to
better.
defend Sarah. It's not that she's gotten better. I'm not necessarily going to say that.
Probably worse.
But there is not a moment she's not there when it matters.
That's
You
my
know?
point. That's why I
She's-
don't care.
Yeah, she's not good at like, shooting the shit all
Totally.
the time and just
Yep.
like, and I think she sees a text and she's like, I have so much more to write to that person than
Yes.
just, what's up, you good?
That's
she wants
exactly
to say
right.
so many things, and she literally, like, 10 more things happen. I will also say, I'm at Sarah's right now. She is full-time doing her favorite daughter clothing company.
Yeah.
Doing all of these
Works her
things at,
ass
you know,
off.
20th Century Fox. She
Billion.
builds these companies. And she really is a full-time mom. She's got 2 kids here on Zoom. They're little kids. Every second, Mom, can you make me this? I only want my mom. Mom,
This
can
I
you
know.
do this math problem? And she is like, she's not great at her time management.
Nope.
And that's really if that's her biggest fault, because she wants to respond to everybody, she wants to call everybody. We also have this beautiful thing where our kids are best friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I
amazing.
actually was going to talk about that. I actually want to talk about that.
But can I just put a bow
Yes.
tie
Okay,
on this?
wrap it up. Sorry.
In that,
No, it's okay.
but I think that's just a testament to being best friends. It's Jen's my safe person.
Yes.
So if it's someone else calling me, I'm like, oh, I just can't deal with that right now.
Totally.
Because I don't feel like I can answer and then
Yep.
get into what I'm actually dealing with right now.
Sure.
Which
Yep.
is I've missed this deadline. I'm in a fucked up situation with this other person.
Yep.
With Jen, I can just be like, it is the craziest day. I am losing my shit.
Yep.
I'm about to jump off a
Yep.
fucking ledge.
Yep.
And she's like, no, okay, great. Call me later. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like
Of
she's such a safe person and gets it. But
Yep.
like, look,
Vice
I have
versa.
a lot of shit to work on as a friend. You know, I need to work on the kind of friend I am. Yes, I am. You know, that's another,
you're
that's
an-
another
I don't
podcast.
think so.
You're an amazing
I think
friend.
Sarah. I think you have an incredible group of female friends that literally would live or die for you. And I think
True.
everyone accepts the fact that you may not be the quickest responder. I'm not the quickest responder.
That's her only fault.
I'm the last person to start like yelling at someone about that.
No, but it's like everybody's busy. It's not like
That's
it's like
my
it's
point.
not
I'm
an
just-
excuse of like, oh well, I'm really busy. We're all fucking busy. I have like my wires crossed somehow when it comes to just coping with life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sometimes go like, I don't know how to cope with life. And
I think that's
Yeah, no,
human,
makes
Sarah.
sense. It makes sense. So let's move along on this line
This
of
one,
questioning.
I want to ask them. Do you guys think friends should go into business together? How do you feel about that concept?
Well,
Would you
we
guys?
talk about-
Would you guys do something together?
Would you?
we think it's insane that we don't. It makes
Yeah.
zero sense. I'm really ready to kick Aaron to the curb. I need a new business partner. Aaron and I are into too many things together. Look, the truth is, Jen and I could start a company tomorrow. I mean, not to launch it tomorrow,
of
but
course.
start really marinating on something to do together in business. But I think the thing that we connect on the most is charity.
Yes.
Jen and I are equally passionate about children's suffering, whether
Yep.
it's hunger,
Same.
whether it is cancer, whether it is whatever. Half of our conversations are sending things back and forth. How can we help this person?
Mm-hmm.
When I post a family that needs help, she's the first person to donate, and vice versa. The thing that I think that would be the most meaningful thing to do together, because we're both equally passionate about it. But like, we have to be doing something together. It's a no-brainer.
We'll get there. That's for sure.
Oh, I'm trying to get her to do something for favorite daughter. If we weren't best friends, that's definitely way beneath her. But because we are,
I'm so
she's not
excited.
allowed.
We are doing something.
She's not allowed to say.
We've
no.
already committed.
I've already been dropping the collab.
Wait till you
left and
see it.
right.
It's going to be very cute.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, okay. So I have another question, you guys. Is there something, I mean, I think, Jen, you kind of answered this earlier a little bit, and maybe you did too, Sarah, but is there something that you guys get from each other that you don't get from your siblings?
Oh, I mean, like
Do you know what I mean? Like, is there something that you lean on each other? Like, I think
well,
a
because
lot
you're
of
both close to your sisters.
You're so, and I die for your sisters, both of them. And so, are there certain things you just say it's automatic for you to go to each other before your sisters?
Oh, yeah, just different. I think like touching on what we sort of touched on before, when you
Yeah.
don't have that added element of childhood history.
Right,
There's just
right.
like a layer
Right.
that is just not there when
Yep.
discussing situations, problems, advice,
No judgments,
right? Like
no prejudgments, no
it's
sibling
just-
judgments.
it's just, I mean, we probably have a different answer because Jen and Sarah have a very different relationship than, you know, me and my siblings. But I'll let you go, Jen.
No, I think Sarah's right. I mean, we are both so lucky, you know, as much as Sarah and Aaron can joke about their sisterhood.
Of course.
They're,
yeah, we're best
they're
friends.
best
Of
friends
course.
and they're
Of course.
amazing.
Of
And
course.
my
Of course.
sisters are, I don't know what I would do without them. But yes, there is, and we're so lucky that we have those friendships with our sisters where we can
Yes.
count on them for absolutely everything, just like you have with Pam. Like,
Yes,
it is
100%.
It's like it's a built-in everything, you know,
Yep.
to have sisters. And Sarah and I feel equally as lucky. It's very hard to describe mine and Sarah's friendship. It goes so beyond, and yes, sisters are sisters, and our respect for our sisters just goes for life. But Sarah and I, separate from our sisters, it's so hard to describe our friendship. When I say it's my rock, I really mean it. It's like when there's chaos or there's things going on, I know I have Sarah to count on. I know I have her to be like, yo, I need you right now. 2 minutes. My phone rings as my text is going through.
It's like the easiest, most effortless,
Yes.
But by the way, guys, we should also talk about, like, I get jealous sometimes. Like, I'm very territorial of Jen.
Well, that was
and
my next.
Jen,
That was
I'll
my
let you
next
ask the
question.
question,
Jen has a lot of
Raj.
friends, and I just wanted to talk about
She
that
does.
because I find
Oh,
you,
she
Sarah,
does.
being like probably less interested in like dealing with other people. But I feel like I see Jen posting a lot, and well, aren't you really best friends with like Courtney
shit.
Cox
Yes.
and that whole crew?
Yes.
So like Sarah,
Oh,
do you
Sarah
have to,
was
like,
friends with Courtney
do you have to
before
share?
me. Let's
Or how
just
does
be
this work?
clear.
well, you know, the truth is, like, we do have a lot of the same friends, but like everyone wants to be Jen's best friend, and that's great. I'm happy for her. I mean, not really, but
they do.
You know,
I'm going to
it's-
back you up,
But
Sarah,
how
on
did we?
that. They
how-
do.
But how did this wind up that the two of you are on this show? So you
Well, they told us
but
that,
you've
honey.
announced to the whole world, like, hey, everyone
No.
else is kind of like inferior.
no, but everyone knows.
That's how I read it. I'm sorry.
Everyone
No
knows.
one's inferior.
But like, listen, Jen
I mean,
has
kinda.
a lot of friends, and there have definitely been times where I'm like, oh really? You're going to dinner with that person? Oh, okay. You know what? Call me in a couple days because I don't need this shit in my life, and I have to catch myself because I'm like, there's enough to go around. It's all. I'm just being super honest. That it's like, but at the end of the day, Jen can have a million friendships, and I know. And I was just explaining this to my 10-year-old, because my 10-year-old, I'm sure she gets it from me. She's becoming very territorial of her friends, and
Valentina?
I'm like, V, I know, and I'm like, V. Otis will always be your best friend. It's okay that him and Mia are becoming really close. He's still gonna, and I'm like, what is wrong with her? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, clearly the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Okay. It's no secret that I love and adore my team, and I'm so grateful for each and every member of our company. On Works For Us, we talk about all kinds of relationships and partnerships, but the partner every company for sure needs is a hiring partner. Indeed is the job site that makes hiring quick and easy. Post, screen, and interview all on Indeed. You can get your quality shortlist of candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description, and you only pay for the candidates that meet those must-have qualifications. Next, you can schedule and complete video interviews in your Indeed dashboard. With tools like Indeed Instant Match and Indeed Skills Tests, you can, on average, reduce hiring time by 27%. You can choose from more than 130 skills tests or add your own to really customize the skill set and candidates you're looking for. According to Talent Nest, Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all the other job sites combined. So if you're hiring, you need Indeed. Get started right now with a free $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/whatworksforus. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/whatworksforus. Indeed.com/whatworksforus. Offer valid through June 30th. Terms and conditions apply. No, but I do think, to that point, you guys, I think it's important to note that there are certain people in this world, and I know a very small amount of them. My mother happens to be one of them. And Jen, I have always believed that you're one of them. And Rodger and I say this all the time. There's something about you that people, I think, because you are so genuine in who you are. And I think there's an effortlessness about you that you make whoever you're with feel like they matter and you listen. And I think that people do want to be your best friend. I think you have that gift 1,000,000,000%. You somehow make everyone feel in the most genuine, absolute genuine way that you are 1,000,000,000% there for them, that you are there, you are their friend. And I think that that's a real gift because there are a lot of people that just peace out when they're not interested or like I do believe that a lot of people would call you their best friend. You know, I mean, I certainly do, but I would say, but at the same time,
Sounds
there
like you were misinformed, Rachel.
no, because there is a very real understanding between every single one of us that Jen and Sara are literally the closest that you, and it's, by the way, nobody wants to touch it.
Fine, everyone
It's not
else
a
is getting
weird
sloppy
thing.
seconds. I get it.
Yes.
I understand the dynamics of this
And
friend
we're all
group.
okay with it.
You know how we talk about friends, like, you know, peripheral friends or friends in
Yeah,
our group where we're
sure.
like, oh, okay, they really like feel themselves now and they have changed. And now they're friends with blah, 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 and blah. Like everyone's got that in their
Yep.
in their friend group. Jen has not changed.
I agree.
Jen's just always been social. Everyone's always loved her. She's
Yep.
always been friends with everyone. She's always been a good friend. Like
Yep.
she's the same person today. I mean, you might be a little more fun now. I don't know. But like she
She
is
was really
Yeah.
fun.
a lot
but
of fun.
she
She
hasn't
was really fun.
she hasn't changed. Like for all the people that knew her when she was
that's not true,
but you haven't. I mean, you really haven't. We all have friends who have changed.
agree.
Like I've changed, by the way.
But let me ask
No.
you a question about that. But Jen had kids first, right?
Oh yeah, Jen.
yeah.
Jen
Yeah.
taught us all how to mom.
So how did that, like, what was that all about? You were like, later for you, mommy. Like, not later for you, but like, did you feel like you were having a kid too? Like, how did that all
was I jealous when Jen got pregnant?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get like, yeah, like what's up with that? Because all of a sudden you're like in the same partner of your life, building career, and then all of a sudden she's a mom and you're not.
Kate had Ryder.
Kate
That's
had
true.
Ryder.
Kate's been a mom the longest.
But
her
Kate
whole
went,
adult
you
life.
know, Kate was like a hippie. She was
Yes.
on the road and
Yep.
running
Sure
around
was.
and, you know, going to concerts and doing movies. And I remember the night I went into labor or the night before and
with Ruby.
with Ruby.
Yep.
And I was so weird because I had to walk to get it going because they thought
Right.
my water was about to, whatever it was.
You weren't dilating.
Something happened. And I'll never, thank you to my wife.
Again,
and
we're
I'll
not
never
doctors.
forget
Yeah. Well,
Toby, who we all know, you guys all know Toby and my ex-husband. And he liked to be in control very much. And he said, Sarah's going to come go on the walk with you. And I was like, whoa. Great. Like I was like, Toby's giving up a little control. And
by walk we mean around her doctor's
Yes,
courtyard,
of
like in
course.
circles around.
And Sarah came. She's like, I have to talk to you. And I was like, what's more important than me going to labor right now? And she's like, I'm leaving for Prague in the morning. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What are you doing?
I'm like for a month and a half, 2
I'm
months.
going to Prague for 2 months tomorrow. I was like, you're joking. So I'm literally having my first baby and Sarah's on a plane to Prague. I was like, oh my, and I'll never forget the day she came back and I sort of handed her to Ruby over to Sarah. Sarah was the best. I mean, that's Ruby's Auntie Rara. Like,
Of course.
that's her, other mom. Like
course.
that was.
And you and Toby were married you were together, or you weren't married, but you were together for so long. It was sort of the natural progression, her having a baby, and then
I feel
didn't
like it's
change
so
much.
Jen to go first.
yeah, and then I had Valentina like a few years after that, so it was pretty close. I mean, it was perfect, and I learned. I mean, honestly, I blame you for my saggy ass tits.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jen
Oh, yeah.
breastfed for like 900 years. I was like, oh, if I don't breastfeed like her, I'm like some deadbeat. So I just did everything she did, which I
did
don't
it
know that I
better.
recommend.
Sarah had no help. She didn't have anyone helping her.
Well, you didn't
I
have
remember,
I remember
that,
that.
very well.
Yeah,
I
but
was
guess
sending
what,
her
guys?
manicures. I was like,
There's no medal for that.
Help her.
There's no medal for that. Like
No,
I didn't
listen,
have a
we're
baby
just
nurse. I didn't have
moms.
any of that shit with Valentina. I did when I had
You
Josie,
did have
'cause-
Rebecca, the queen.
No, but I didn't. That's the difference. My mom was with Ron. That was sort of like the last couple years of his life. And
Oh
my
my
mom
God,
was
I remember.
actually not really around for Valentina. But
Right.
but it doesn't matter. I
No,
really
I remember
saw-
that, Sarah. I do remember that.
I
well.
saw what present parenting was
Yes.
from Jen, and I just
Aw.
and I there was just sort of no other way to do it.
And look at those
again,
kids.
I'm not judging other moms. Everyone does what works for them. But I did learn how to become a mom from Jen and therefore breastfeed my kids for 400 years.
sorry.
Which honestly, well, I got my boobs done, so it's fine.
Oh my God, I should do that
Yeah.
because
All right, you guys, where do you see your friendship in 20 years? I'm sure you don't think about that, but where do you see it? I feel like you're going to be doing exactly what you're doing right now.
I'm trying to live in the moment, Rachel. That's what I've been working on with my therapist. Is I
Girl,
don't
you're
live in the
busy.
moment. I'm thinking about.
she's not getting rid of me this moment 20 years from now.
No, I mean, will we have grandkids in 20 years? We might have grandkids.
Yeah.
Might.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
begging
Ruby will
my
be
kids to have
34.
grandkids young. I'm
Wait,
begging.
I'm not ready for that.
Well,
I am.
listen, in 20 years, I don't see I think I see our friendship just getting better and better and better. She's stuck with me for life.
Hopefully,
so-
one of us has a beach house. That would be nice.
For
That's
sure.
the goal, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal.
For sure.
I'd
Great.
I'd like one of us to have a beach.
Why
house.
don't you get a beach house?
Or a
I'll get a house
mountain
in Palm
house.
Springs.
Okay.
A second
But
house
Jen's
would be
like me.
great.
Jen doesn't go in the ocean.
Hell no.
What is the most fun you've ever had together? If you were like, that was the
Like irreplaceable moment,
sickest-
sickest time,
Could
sickest
can
thing
you
ever that
actually
you guys ever
distill it
did.
into one moment?
I mean, God, we've had fun birthday parties, we've had fun vacations, we've had fun baby showers. I mean,
We've done it all.
we've done it
just-
all. Like, how do we even pick?
We've had so much fun. We're so lucky. It's not even.
We had so much fun before kids. Didn't
Oh
we?
God, they really messed things
We
up.
really-
So like,
I
let's
mean-
go back to that. Before kids, what was the most fun? Like, you guys remember, like, you're like, oh my God, we were rock stars. Like, that was the night.
Well, we had like a poker
Without
time.
names.
So
Without
we
names.
had. Oh, we'll give names. We don't give a shit. At
We
this
had
point.
like we had a lot we had a lot of nights where we played a lot of charades and a lot of good
Celebrity.
stuff. Celebrity was great.
Jen's house in my early 20s, it was just a sanctuary. And honestly, the times I'd come to Thrasher and we would literally watch like Sex in the City.
Thrasher.
No, like we would have Sex
so
in the
fun.
City every Sunday and we'd watch it and we'd order food.
that
and
room.
Like, that room, that
That
movie
room.
Great
room.
room.
Just such good times. Like not a
Right?
care in the damn
A
world.
lot of years of a lot of fun.
Casa
A lot
Vega.
of years of a lot of fun, and then
Yes.
life got real serious.
Yes, a lot of years.
Now
of a lot
we're
of
just
fun.
trying to plan a damn ski trip together. It's like we can't even plan a trip together anymore.
Okay, so I have a question, you guys, as someone who, as I mentioned in the beginning, I have had, I am a believer that great women are the greatest. And I do think there are women that aren't the greatest because I don't want to be delusional. I don't want to just say like all women are awesome because I think I have not always been supported by women. Let's put it that way. Since I was very, very young. And I guess my question for you that I think a lot of people would be curious about is if someone were to say, I don't know how to have a friendship that deep. I don't know how to go that deep with someone. I don't know how to let everything down to have that safe person who's a best friend in that way that takes that role in my life. Because Rodger has that. He has that. His best friends are like his brothers. True and true. But I guess my question is for women out there that are listening and thinking about their friendships. What do you think? I guess I don't want to say your advice because it's hard to create, but I guess the question is for someone who struggles with friendships, what would you say is like the magic that you have to try and like get through to create a relationship like that?
Yeah, listen, first of all, you can't make new old friends. You can make a lot of great new friends, you
Yes,
know?
I agree with that.
And I think that it's sort of just like the law of life. Like treat people the way you would want to be treated. So you really want to invest in friendships. It's like be open, be loving, don't be judgmental, and keep a secret. You know what I mean? When people
Yep.
confide in you,
Yes,
like
yes.
you treat that information how you would want that person to treat your information. You know, really invest and be like, listen, not
and I
every
also think it's a lot of work. I think you got to give to get. You can't.
Friendships are work.
Rachel's always like, "Oh my God, you're going over there now," and I'm like, you know what? He needs me, or like, we need to talk, and like,
No, it's more like if he hasn't seen someone for a while.
I like do
Rodger
that.
makes a lot of effort with his friends to keep his friends for literally almost 50 years his friends.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would say, even though mine and Sarah's friendship in every way is effortless,
Yeah,
we
of
make
course.
so much effort for each other
Yes.
to put each other's feelings first in so many ways that is effort, but it's like an effort you want to do.
Sure. But you guys, I asked that also because I think I have incredible girlfriends, but I think at the end of the day, between my sister and I've had Rodger for 30 years and now my kids and my job and like whatever, to keep up very deep friendships is a lot of work. You know, on it. If they're not here, if it's not you guys and you're not like down the street and it can't, when COVID's over, you're not like, let's meet at Giorgio's or whatever. It's a different thing. But
women also really trigger women. Women trigger women in ways that men do not trigger women. And I think we surround ourselves with so many women who are so on the hustle and so that we forget to stop and go, fuck, I'm happy for you. Like, how can I help you? Like, we all need to support you. And I'm guilty of this too. I'll see somebody where they just, you know, they're writing a book and their book is getting published. I'm like, well, I should be writing a fucking book. Like, why am I not? And I'll be triggered by that person. And instead of being like, that's so cool, she's writing a book, I'll be like, that's a lame title. Or I'll think that. Or and like, we have to retrain our brain. The reason why Jen and I work is because I know that if I say to Jen, you're not going to believe it, our company was just acquired for $1 billion, she would be like, oh my God, this is the greatest day ever. Whereas if like I said that to someone else, they might be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And it's natural. I'm not saying I'm above it. I've been so triggered by women who are doing what I wish I was doing in life, you know? And I'm motivated and I've sort of switched it. And the reason why Jen and I work is because I want her to be the most successful person that's ever lived and the best mom and her kids be the best and vice versa, you know, and that's why
it's very interesting.
Works, and that's what we have to strive for, because I see it all around us. I'm like, why are you not happy for her? What does it say about you that you are not celebrating her victory right now? It doesn't take away from you. You can still do what you're doing, and there's room for everybody. By the way, I am not on some soapbox. I have been so
but Sarah, that's an incredible point because I actually think you just summed it up, and I think that's the issue that I've always had, and I say that to Rodger. It's like I can count on one hand the women that I think truly want the best for me, truly want me to succeed and root for me, as opposed to like doing exactly what you just said. And I think what happens is that you start to go down that hole of like, you know, thinking that. And I think that's a slippery slope too. And I think to your point, and the takeaway from that is, in order to have a true, deep, effortless, unguarded, unfiltered friendship, you have to genuinely want the best for each other. And I think that applies to marriage as well.
And that's what I was going to say is I find, again, one of the main reasons why Rachel and I are together, you say, well, how do you last for so long?
We root for each other.
Because we root for each other. And I find even in marriages, there's competitiveness. Like who's bringing in the more money, who's spending more time with the kids, who's doing this, who's doing that. And you're like, if you're not one unit, like it's over. And for me, like I will go fight to the death for Rachel. Like that, like no one can, you know, I can make fun of her because she's mine.
Of course.
Right? Because I've earned that. But like do not F with her. You know what I mean? And that, because it's like she's my, like that's it. And that
ride
and
or die.
But I find that
ride or die.
But what's interesting, ride or die, but what's so interesting, and I'll just bring it back to my own personal event. When we were engaged, I did not feel that way. And I remember the day we got married, it was like this piece of paper. It's like all of a sudden,
goes from I to us.
It's I to us. And all of a sudden, like it was really trigger to me that like from that day on, it was like, it's because you're still a little like, before you're married, you're still a little like, I don't know, you're still jockeying. You know, a little bit.
And you were also in your 20s, you guys. But then once the people's paper
says, you know, you're equal.
I was going to say, Sarah, we were literally in our 20s.
No, but I'm saying,
but
once the piece of paper says you're, I don't know how to explain it. For me, that was a trigger, as you were talking about trigger, Sarah. But for me, that was like a wake up, like we're a unit, and this is no.
I feel like we're in us.
We are.
You are in us.
Yes,
you are in us.
For sure.
So, first of all, this has been incredibly fun, and I could talk to you guys for 17 more hours, but I know you actually have like your lives to live and your 1,800 jobs. Okay. Before we go into our last quickie 5 questions. It's a little bit like the Newlyweds, meaning I ask you guys and you answer for
I'm
each
not
other.
good at. I fail when Aaron and I have done this. I fail every time. They're
Well,
like, "Do you
we're
even
gonna
know each
try.
I feel
other?"
like you'll get it
We're
right.
gonna
I feel
try.
like you'll get it right for Jen.
Well, we'll see.
What's the one piece of clothing of Sarah's or Jen's that you would throw away? Sarah, what would you throw away of Jen's, if anything?
Oh, Jen has. Okay. Well, she's like these fucking like prairie dresses. They're so dumpy. Like I'm like, you have a great body. Have a couple of them.
She does.
A couple of them, but she's got all these flowy ass prairie
Fair
mom
enough.
dresses.
Fair enough.
Keep a couple. Keep 3. Throw out 100.
That she cutely wears with Converse.
I know,
Okay,
but I'm over
Jen.
it. Jen's just like, where do I begin?
She just posted this picture that's like the cutest outfit ever, and these shoes. I don't even know what these running shoes are. I'm like, why? Why the shoes? Like,
They're actually the shoes your mom wears. So way to insult your mom while you're also insulting me.
Are they like
live for
orthopedic?
my mother,
Were
but
they orthopedic?
Are they like Rockport?
yes.
They're the Hokas. They're
No
the
offense
Hokas.
to no offense to Hoka, but
Way to take
great
down
for,
Hoka, Jen.
I didn't say the name.
There's
I
a
said
time
the
and a
name.
place. Time and a
Great for
place.
running, great for walking. Not she doesn't need to wear it with a crop cashmere sweater.
Favorite
That's
daughter.
So cute.
Adorable cashmere.
And maybe
sweater.
these
This
sweats that she's wearing.
this question's hard for you guys because you kind of know everybody. Okay, Jen, who's Sarah's celebrity crush?
I feel like she's
It doesn't have
dated
to be a
them all.
celebrity. It could be like anybody. It could be an athlete. It could be,
Could be a politician.
It could be a
She
politician.
just told you, Rachel. I've
think-
dated them all.
I think Sarah's dated all her celebrity crushes, so maybe we should
I agree
go.
with that. I agree with that.
There's no one left.
There's no one left. Done.
Not really.
I've just been around the block. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the
I
way,
do, Sarah.
I really, no, but okay, but
I
let's
know.
be real because that's actually not true. Who would be? You can be honest. Who would be my celebrity crush? Like if I had one today.
I'm really being honest that you've dated them.
Okay.
That's as far as I'm going to go.
Okay.
I agree with Jen. I agree with Jen, Sarah. Okay.
Moving right along.
Sarah, who's Jen's?
Listen, I would say here's the thing. I would always
Jen's
say
face.
Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
he's married.
For
We
sure.
all know he's married to someone, We like Beyonce. We don't want to,
Love.
we're not trying to take Beyonce's man. I think Dr.
No
Dre is
judgment.
No
realistic.
No judgment.
Dr. Dre is realistic though, because he's single.
Oh,
And that when Jen goes to bed at night, I think she sees herself as Mrs. Dre.
Dr. Dre, you out there?
Dr. Dre, are you listening? Do we think Dr. Dre will listen to this podcast?
for sure.
I love you so much. Okay, this one's going to be fun. All right, this one's going to be fun. Sarah, if Jen were arrested, what would it be for?
Ooh.
I mean, I would say drunk driving, but she doesn't because she drinks a lot. But she does.
I've never driven drunk, though,
But
just
she doesn't. But
FYI.
this is actually the thing. She'll have like 2 sips of wine. She'll be like, "I need to call an Uber." I'm like, Jen, like you've had 2 sips
Same.
of wine, like. But
Same.
she loves a drink. If
Yeah.
she's
Same.
she might be arrested for like disturbance, like loud, like her rap music, maybe like late at night, like.
We've had cops to my house
You've
before.
had like
Yeah, yeah,
disturbance,
yeah.
like
That's
like
true. Okay.
wild,
a
like
good
not
one.
turning down her music.
Oh my God,
Okay.
what would you
Jen,
be arrested
what would Sarah
for?
be arrested for? Sarah's
be
such a
honest.
goody goody. That's the thing.
I know, she really is.
She
No,
is.
you know
She,
what
like,
I'd probably be
barely
arrested for? Like
What?
like being like a bitch on an airplane or something. Like
Yeah,
in my like
I-
coach.
I
in
told
my
Ray,
coach.
TSA.
That
TSA. That's exactly what I said for TSA.
I'd be like, don't fucking touch me. I'm not putting
100%.
Because I get so saucy
Me too.
with people.
Me too.
Is that it?
Oh, by the
Me
way,
too,
like
Sarah.
if she ever got pulled over for like a
Oh.
parking ticket,
Oh, no,
or
no,
wait,
no.
for like a driving ticket or something,
No,
speeding
same.
ticket,
They'd
she
take me to
would
jail.
she would go to jail.
I'd
She
be
would-
like, oh, really? Am I on video? I want to see the replay because I did
Sarah
not
would-
do that.
Sarah would challenge a cop for sure.
Me too.
Sure.
Same.
But
Sarah.
guess what? We'd bail each other right out.
Oh, 2 seconds.
We bail
Yes.
each other with
2
no
seconds.
judgment. I'm like, honey, next time, try to not have your music at the loudest at 4 a.m. when children are sleeping. Like, I would just, I'd be not judgmental about it.
Okay, last two. Sarah, what is Jen's go-to karaoke song?
Oh, like blank in Paris.
Or like 9 to 5.
Okay. I mean, I've
Bubbling in Dublin.
Like anything. And do you want to rap for us? Should we take it out on you
Do it.
rapping a little bit?
Not gonna do that. Nope. We're not gonna rap today.
Why?
If I had a margarita, I would definitely.
Okay,
rap.
Jen's a
next
good
time.
rapper.
We should note that. Drinks
Yeah.
in hand. Okay.
Yes.
Jen, what's Sarah's?
Oh, Sarah always finds like the
Lionel
latest
Richie?
love ballad.
Oh, yeah.
Like that she like blasts and she's like, "Did you hear?" It'd be like Heart of Glass or something.
It would be
Daughter of Sarah of David Foster.
Jar of
Like,
Hearts. Jar of Hearts.
Roxette. Like an old. I love a ballad. I
Loves
love
So
a ballad.
do I.
I
Loves
love
a
a
love
I hate
ballad.
ballads.
like
Oh,
a One
God.
Republic ballad.
Oh,
like,
forget it.
No, love a ballad.
Like a Whitney Houston.
Power ballad.
Oh,
Brian
for-
Adams.
Okay,
Oh,
this I know
absolutely.
you're both going to get because it's such an important concept for both of you, a subject for both of you. Jen, what would Sarah's last meal be? I know this.
You do?
Oh my God.
My last meal. What would it
What
be?
would your last
I would
meal?
say Mexican, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
gotta be
I was gonna
tacos.
say
Gotta be
like
Mexican.
it, like a really good Mexican meal, or
Billion.
You know, she loves pizza also.
Sarah's the reason that I know that my first time I ever had Mexican food. I
What,
didn't know
Casa
the difference
Vega?
between it. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
the best.
So good.
Yes.
I made her
Exactly.
drive me there 4 times a week when I was pregnant. Not even joking. She'd be like, "Again?" I'm like, "I have to."
Okay, Sarah, what would Jen's last meal be?
Listen, she loves Mexican too, but she like probably Sushi Park.
Love sushi.
Oh,
Love
loves
sushi
sushi.
park.
Love
Sushi,
Sushi
which
Park.
is disgusting, but
Yeah,
she
Jen-
loves
Sarah
it.
and I can't.
No.
I'm with you, Sarah.
Nope.
I'm the only one.
Nope.
Okay. By the way, you guys were amazing at that. So you
Oh,
can get
good.
married
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you
Okay,
get married
perfect.
now.
We're in
You
us.
won-
By the
Smooth
way, I'd have
sailing
a
for
real
you,
nice.
too.
I'd have a really nice diamond.
I would give you a great ring.
Give
for
me a great
sure.
diamond.
By the way, yes. I love you both so much.
We
Have
love
the
you
best
so
day.
much. Mwah.
Love you.
Love you.
I love you. Okay, so Jen and Sarah. Well, I mean, it was kind of cool for me to have 2 of my best friends as my role models for best friends and then listen to kind of the magic of their friendship. And when you look at them, it's like they can't breathe without each other.
But I
you
think
know?
listen, the idea is that they're best friends, right? And they were on our show to talk about relationship of best friends. And I think the parallel between best friends and business partners and best friends and, you know, husband and wife is very similar. They sort of rely on each other for different parts of the relationship. And there's a certain sort of rooting for each other. There's a safe zone.
100%.
And it's not that dissimilar to, you know, an actual, you know,
I
loving
totally
relationship,
agree.
if you will.
For people out there who struggle with friendships, sometimes females struggle with female friendships, any friendships, you know? And I think for me, while I love them both so much, just watching them as best friends, it's pretty amazing to watch. And I think if anyone out there is lucky enough to have that outside of a sibling connection with somebody, it's pretty incredible. We always want to leave you with a little highlight and low light from our week because let's face it, we all have highs and lows of each week. In relationships, the bad does come with the good. So this is our time to mention a little bit of both of those things. My highlight was that I got my second vaccine, my second Pfizer vaccine. So I feel just like a big weight lifted off my shoulders because I have been really in hiding since COVID, very strictly. And the low light would be that I was achy and miserable for like 24 hours, but I didn't really care, but it still sucked in the moment. But I knew there was a means to the end. So, I mean, the highs that I got the vaccine and the low is that I was down for the count. And as a mom and a CEO, it's a little hard to be down for the count. Just saying. Babe, what's yours?
I think my highlight is actually how nice the boys are doing in their schoolwork. The fact that little Kai can read so well. He's the cutest little thing of all time when he sits at the morning breakfast table and he reads his chapter in his book like a good boy. And that Skylar got a 95 and then 100 on math. The fact that he couldn't really do math and that he was so scared of it and now he really excels at it is amazing. And one other highlight I would like to add about Skylar is that he made me watch him catch footballs outside, and he could literally catch footballs really well, and I was really proud of him.
Did you teach him how to catch the football?
No,
Okay, just checking.
the coach did.
Did you teach him how to shoot hoop?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But the
Just
coach
checking.
did.
You're a good spectator, though, honey. And you bring great food.
That's why they call it a spectator sport.
Of course. Okay. Low light?
I don't know, Rach. I've been in a pretty good mood. The only low light that I would have is the fact that I'm still not getting enough love from you, my love. That is a low light. It's a constant low light. I'll take a hug or a kiss. A simple hi, how you doing? A wave in the hall, if you will.
A hug while
smoke
walking?
signal? If you like what you've heard so far, please make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and review. And keep listening.
Check us out on our Instagram at works.for.us.